Since processing his accident, Jeff Wittek has kept his distance from members of the Vlog Squad. He's expressed anger from experiencing people he thought were his real friends seemingly abandon him to stay close with David Dobrik. And he's been let down in the fact that they vocalized that it would make David upset if they were to be seen with him. Todd and Nick are the two that Jeff felt as though he really connected with, but neither of them have spoken to Jeff in a long while. Jeff is currently in the middle of a court battle as he decided to sue David Dobrik back in 2022 for the accident that occurred in 2020 that left Jeff with lifelong injuries to his eye. He made it clear how he feels about David, having vocalized several times on his YouTube channels how things have been going in the lawsuit, talking about David trying to delay the process, and it just sounds like a total headache. And over the years, we've heard about how Jeff feels towards those who still support David, even getting upset with Tana before, since she was still friendly with David at one point. He felt as though if she was supporting him in any way or looking as if she was, it was hurtful given all he's told her. Tana has since kept her distance from David, but shockingly, Jeff has sort of opened himself back up again to some members of the Vlog Squad, inviting Matt King and Mike Sheffer onto Jeff FM this week. He had talked about not too long ago that he had become friendly again with Mike, which I'll say he seems more like a distant Vlog Squad member because he's just friends with everyone in it, but he's been in Vlog Squad content before. Jeff mentioned that he was making amends with people, and Mike was one of those people, which was certainly surprising, just given that I think anyone even slightly connected to the Vlog Squad he wouldn't want to associate with, but he seems open to it now. But it definitely still shocked people to see him taking this whole making amends thing even further when he invited Matt onto his show as well. Matt is friendly with everyone. He's on a bunch of podcasts, he's just everywhere all the time. So for them to get together was definitely a surprise because he wasn't about to diss David, and we all know how Jeff feels. So to see how this was going to play out was a real ride. Jeff did acknowledge right off the bat that they are still associated with the Vlog Squad, but really praised them for still coming on.
You guys coming on here means a lot to me. It shows a lot of respect, and I respect you guys for it because I know that it might not seem like anything to you, but you know, we were both part of a group that separated, and you guys are still in it. So for you coming here today, it shows a lot of character.
Jeff talked about how recently someone asked him if he ever sees the squad getting back together, and he said no, but then thought about it and said he realized it was really just David that had done him wrong and remembered the aspects of the group that were really good, like everyone just wanting to help each other out with content. And it seemed like he became more open to the idea of rekindling some friendships, which honestly, this shocks me.
One of these guys has done such wrong to me and is still continuing to do wrong that I won't ever consider it. But there's only one guy that f***ed me over here. Everybody else was just friends that were trying to support each other, help each other with content. Anytime we would ask each other, come on a show, it was such a great thing that we had. And, you know, I met with Mike and we talked about everything. And I know Mike's a real human. He's not too caught up in this influencer lifestyle. He's not, his brain is not too clouded.
Jeff even said he was wanting to go on their podcast that they do with Carly and Aaron, but he didn't quite know if he would be accepted by their audience. Now, I did think it was a little awkward though when Jeff was talking about how recently he accidentally took a sip of alcohol and was trying to explain why he threw it up because he didn't want his brain to process that he had just drank alcohol. And in explaining that, he made a comment about how he will be at Matt's wedding. And then Matt apologized because the wedding already happened and he didn't invite Jeff.
You know, like levels.
Yeah.
Like as good as I'm feeling now and as confident as I'm feeling now is how I will be at your wedding, which is lame, I guess.
Which is,
you know?
Yeah, which has already happened.
Yeah.
Sorry I didn't get you an invite.
I understand.
Yeah.
Just due to the circumstances.
I just didn't want like drama at my wedding, you know?
Unless there was an octagon in the middle of the altar. Then,
ladies and gentlemen, right after the first dance, we're going to invite Jeff Wittek up to the octagon. No. I haven't drank anything all of 2024 so far.
Definitely awkward, but the two weren't talking again till right now, and the wedding was last year. I don't know if Jeff just slipped up by saying that or what, because he did acknowledge Matt getting married earlier on in the episode, but either way, he got the apology for the no invite. Later on, Jeff brought up the one thing that Matt has done that did make him upset. He said that one time after his accident, Matt brought up his eye injury in front of David and a bunch of other people when they were all watching the election results, and Jeff found it really inappropriate.
Remember the time you asked me? You were like, I think we were watching the election and we all were there sitting around like, what the gonna happen? And then you were just like in front of everybody. You're like, so can you like not see out of that eye now? And I was like, fucking that.
Should I not ask you that?
At that time, in front of a whole party with the kid there that's responsible for it, like that was the only thing that you've ever done to me that I was like, Matt.
Okay.
But that's it. Other than that,
But the thing is, Jeff, if I had an eye surgery and if I was going through surgeries and if you asked me, I would have also expected you to ask me something like that because that's just like you.
Yeah.
So sometimes if I'm like ever trying to like push your buttons or I'm giving you a zinger, because
You're
I
just giving
think
it back.
It would have been the same thing in reverse.
Towards the end, Jeff really wanted to get into the whole David situation and ask them both how they felt towards him after everything that's happened. Mike said he felt no differently towards Jeff, but Matt certainly seemed to be proceeding with caution when it came to his answer.
I know that, like, for me personally, I feel like there's been no change other than just not seeing you as frequently. Like, I mean, maybe you feel differently. I never felt that there was any like problems or rifts or anything. Like, we talked, especially when all that shit was going down. Like,
of course,
I'm always like still there's sometimes like a bit of like caution about Jeff's sensitivity and like, is there going to be a subject where you're like, look at them, they're talking about something, how could they do something like that? And like, or okay, like remember when like David got an eye statue?
Yeah.
And that was like, in the one, I remember when he got the statue, I didn't even think about like the eye, but then fans put two and two
Nobody
together.
thought about the eye?
And then, well, the thing is, this is not me. Like, I didn't even get to see the statue in person. But is this like dramatic?
Wrong one. Pick a side. Whose side do you want?
You're like your side, Jeff, completely.
There was a lot of discussion surrounding Matt saying this because he will probably hang out with David in the future, going to one of his house events and such. So saying he's on Jeff's side completely is interesting. I think he's just friendly to everyone involved and doesn't want to take actual sides, which is why his reaction to pick a side was what it was. Later, Jeff even said there's a possibility that some of them would get called in to testify in the lawsuit against David, which certainly caught Matt off guard, and he definitely seemed nervous about this being a possibility.
This guy that's now I'm in a major lawsuit with, which is still going on, which you guys will probably be called in.
Do you think so?
Well, look, everything will come out.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that, and I just cannot wait. It's like all getting pushed back because he just doesn't want to deal with it. He's just out drinking, partying. Don't lawyer, I'll pay you. Just keep pushing it back. So that's the only thing that's like a little annoying. But whatever. I don't think about it much.
Yeah.
I try not to put energy into that.
Yeah.
You know, I just try to do podcasts with my boys.
yeah,
you know?
staying positive is the way to be.
And Matt seemed so scared at the thought of all of this actually being a reality.
All of us in a deposition room, live streamed, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard,
Hot damn, wouldn't that be the day?
and you're on the stand.
What if I have like a vacation? Do I gotta call off for that or like, you know,
Jury duty.
Yeah.
How can I get out of this?
You just
You'd
don't.
want to be in this case. This
I
would be a
guess
fun
but
one.
just don't do it around like 4th of July weekend or like a time where I could be with my family celebrating, you know?
I don't
But
make
even
the
though I
rules,
would be
bro.
there for you, Jeff, I would.
Do it on Christmas.
It's not on me. It's on the composing council, the opposing council.
So we're once again hearing in this episode that David is delaying this whole thing. It's taking forever for them to get through this entire lawsuit because he's putting it off. Jeff says he's out there partying, he's doing his thing, but for some reason there's just this delay, and who knows when this will actually all come to an end, because it has been 2 years now since Jeff did sue him and still no payout, no results. So we're all just waiting along with Jeff, I guess. But that was what they were talking about in this episode, and it's certainly interesting to see. Jeff seemed to just really want to make amends and be on good terms with everyone, no longer having bad blood. But I want to know what you guys think about all of this. So do you think he's going to be reaching out to even more members of the Vlog Squad? How are we feeling about this reunion? Matt saying that he was completely on Jeff's side, knowing good and well he's still friends with David. It's just such a messy situation and a very interesting episode. But tell me all your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.